My name is Valery. I am a founder of Twi Games, a video game development company from Kyiv, Ukraine. Today, I want to tell you about our project called Hollow Home. It is a narrative role-playing game about a war, about our war that is still happening today.
Hollow Home tells the story of a teenage boy named Maxim. His parents left the city for a few days, leaving him alone. Exactly at that time, Russia invaded Ukraine and his city came under siege rapidly. Maxim has to figure out a way to leave the occupied city, while also trying to survive the dangers he's faced.
For the game, we created a town that looks just like many other Ukrainian cities. It has a school, a shop, a church, and a playground. There are also many typical residential buildings that Ukraine inherited from the Soviet past. In the beginning of the game, its characters are busy with their own affairs. Some work, some fix their cars, and the main character skips school to hang out with his friend. But the invasion begins and everything changes rapidly.
Our story is fictional, but inspired by real events of the siege and occupation of Mariupol that happened in 2022. We reviewed many open data sources, news, official communication channels, blogs, diaries from people who survived the siege, even weather forecasts. It also has a lot of reflections of our own memories from the beginning of the war, when we needed to evacuate almost the whole team for several months.
We tell our story through classic RPG mechanics, dialogues, exploration and quests. Players can develop different skills of the main characters that will affect the way the game is played. There are also survival elements, like crafting and level of resolve, that should be monitored to maintain sanity. Through the development of our characters, we reveal how war impacts civilians, how it changed them, and how differently people adapt to it. Some are broken by the horrors of their new reality, while in others it awakens unexpected qualities.
Sometimes you just need a little something to remind yourself how valuable peace and freedom are. And we hope our project will do just that. Join us on this journey.
This is Ricard Pillosu, and I am the co-founder at Epicteros Entertainment. I'm here to tell you about our first game, Starfinder Afterlight, licensed from Paizo. At its core, Starfinder Afterlight is a party-based RPG in a universe that mixes technology and magic. We focus on creating great storytelling inspired by movies like Guardians of the Galaxy or shows like Firefly. While in the game you will create your own character, in the demo you play as one of the companions, Sterling.
So you give orders? Naughty.
Thanks to the success of our Kickstarter, our game will have full voiceover. The dialogue system is the main way to introduce the player to the lore of the world.
If you have the sudden, weird feeling of being naked, it's Lou. Her gaze is like an X-ray machine. By the looks on her face, she either thinks you're a joke, or it's her favorite song playing.
That was our narrator, Roger Clark, known from the Red Dead Redemption series, giving the right space western feeling we're looking for in the game.
Yeah, sorry to ruin happy hour for you, but I have bad news about the big one and the runt. Don't worry, I promise not to say I told you so.
Lou here is referring to Tycho and Cole, our friends, that, after a heist gone wrong, should meet us here. Lou seems to know something about them. If you push Lou about the information she's skipping, she's going to be annoyed, and that will lower your approval with her and limit your potential romance options.
Hold on, hotshot. I own the info. I choose how to deliver it. All right. They were ambushed at Sekubot offices. They knew they were coming, so now the odd couple needs our help. Happy now?
We start the combat right away. The security robots are looking for us and are waiting outside the bar.
Time for my close-up.
The game uses the battle-tested system of Pathfinder 2nd Edition with 3 actions per turn. Lou already starts in a very good place. She's a support character, so it's better for her to stay behind. She will use the ability Get Them to give a bonus to Sterling when he attacks a specific character, and then shoot again. Now, for Sterling, what makes more sense is to close our distance and use our energy weapon. For combat, we decided to stay away from a grid-based system that gave the feeling of a tabletop simulator.
Time for my close-up.
This is it. The team is in full production to release the first 10 hours in early access for summer next year. We cannot wait to show you more. Thanks for watching.
How's it going? My name's Jay. I'm the creative director at WeForge Studio. We're a small indie team from Down Under, and our debut title Macabre is entering into early access. Like any other launch, there are bound to be some bugs, maybe even some crashes, but we're on high alert to fix them fast. If you run into any issues, make sure you send detailed reports in the Discord or bug report form linked in our game. With that out of the way, let's dive into the basics to help you survive your first few runs. You and your friends are entering a sub-rift, a subdimensional bubble of time, torn open by Macabre's chaotic energy. Each one is procedural and ever-changing. Your goal is to stabilize the chaos before it consumes everything. This is a community effort. Each stabilized sub-rift aids Banjo's research, and eventually will lead to the discovery of new locations. Use the rift map to navigate the timelines within each sub-rift. Every node holds a unique primary objective. Complete it to progress forward. Follow Banjo's lead. He's your best chance at survival. But don't be surprised if you stumble across things that even he can't explain. As you play, Banjo will offer tasks, small challenges designed to teach you the basics and help you gear up for tougher runs. Every successful run unlocks the next difficulty tier. Higher tiers mean tougher challenges, bragging rights, and reward multipliers. Only one person on our team managed to stabilize the sub-rift on Macabre difficulty so far, and that's the guy who designed it. So, if you manage to do the same, you're basically cracked, and you should email him at jake@weforgestudio.com to let him know. Every run is different. The layout, weather, time of day, and even the monster behaviors. So don't feel like you need to do everything in one round. Sometimes, the smart move is to extract early, gear up, and dive back in stronger. The controls are pretty standard. You can check and remap them in the keybind menu. It'll auto-switch based on your input device if you're using gamepad. Each rift session lasts about 20 minutes, and you can see how much time you have left at the top of your map screen by pressing tab. If the time runs out before you escape, everything you found is lost. You can leave through randomly spawned extracts, or use your space shifter to bleed fragments, which guarantees an extract to spawn, but also alerts the crawler, so keep moving. Deployables will show a ghost preview and can usually be picked back up. Left click to place them. Throwables are click to use as well, and yes, holding a bottle out while middle mouse clicking will pour one out for your fallen comrades. If a teammate does die, look for a revive shrine. You'll see a large floating structure above them. When someone is killed, the shrine will light up. Each one has limited uses shown by glowing urns, so use them carefully. The crawler reacts to both sight and sound, so every decision matters. Crouch walking makes you quieter, but the surface you're on does still make a difference. Basically, if it sounds loud, it is loud, and the crawler will hear it. Use this to your advantage. Throw a bottle or sonic plunger to distract it, or toss it at your teammate for them to deal with. Proximity sensors give you early warnings. If the crawler's nearby, hide in bushes, under beds, tables, and even in porta potties. But hiding doesn't make you invincible. The crawler can and will check them, so it's usually better to keep moving if you can. Some equipment like the nightlight or liquid barbecue can repel the crawler, but they'll also piss it off. So, stealth is usually safer, but going in loud is a lot more cinematic. You can play solo, but co-op is where things really shine, especially when you're trying to survive. Use proximity chat and radio to coordinate and call out your position using the map grid. Share what you find, help each other survive, and stick together.
Where are you, fucking nerd? Over.
Or don't. Split up. Betray your friends. That's also fun. Remember, this is just the beginning. Early access is the foundation, and we're already developing new content. New rifts, new objectives, roaming animals, crafting, character customization, new monsters, deeper AI behaviors, and much, much more. We set the framework for the ultimate co-op horror experience. With procedural maps, randomized objectives, and complex monster behaviors, you'll never know what's coming next. This premise means that we can go anywhere. Maybe the next rift will bleed into the unforgiving Aussie outback, or a lush Aztec rainforest, or even off-planet entirely. Now, wouldn't that be crazy? We have big plans for Macabre, and we're excited to keep building it with you and our community as we have done since our Kickstarter this time last year. If you're enjoying the game, the best way you can support us is by leaving a review on Steam. It helps more players discover Macabre, and it signals, hey, this thing's worth checking out, even if there are a few rough edges. We're listening to everything and iterating on the game every single day. Your input genuinely does help shape Macabre and make it better. Thanks so much for playing, and we'll see you in the Rift.
Timefront is an innovative take on the RTS genre. We are not after creating yet another clone of the golden era for RTS. The game is inspired by those classics, but for the genre to thrive again, we need to create something new and fresh, while maintaining the core formula of what made these games great in the past. We set out to create something that you haven't seen before, but grounded on some known elements that you would expect to find on a fantasy world. The art, the environments, the characters are different from things you already seen, but not so different to make them strange and unfamiliar. It is a sweet spot that is hard to hit, but I think we nailed it. The story of the first act revolves around an army commander that has to face tough decisions. Does he save his country, which he is sworn to protect, or does he save his family, which he loves? Also touches on opposing themes and moral dilemmas. We want to create a memorable story with compelling characters and deep world building, and we are going to show all of this through the campaign and its cutscenes and cinematics. We have a bold vision on how to evolve and keep the experience fresh for RTS players. Timefront is a game that maintains the classic systems of an RTS game, while adding new elements, such as a Risk-like map and battle royale mechanics, which blend well in real time. We know we are taking a calculated risk with the addition of these mechanics, but we're going to have 1 year to the ground for community feedback, and we're going to keep what works and moving on from things that won't work. We are not married to any feature of the game. The game is designed to be played on single player with a campaign divided in 4 acts, but you can also play in single player with 1v1 modes, free-for-all, co-op, and custom matches. You can even play it offline, and yes, it will receive regular updates after its release. Unlike other genres, the vast majority of RTS players know exactly what they want: a great single-player game that can transition into a multiplayer experience if they wish to try it. This is what we aim to provide. Flamma is an indie studio with no outside funding. We are not even a AAA or AA studio. What we lack in funding, we have in passion, and I think that plays to our advantage. If you take the latest AAA releases, 80% of them fell flat on their faces, even with millions of dollars to play with. They don't even have the luxury of taking risks, they have to play it safe. because they have to please investors and publishers. We don't have any investors or publishers, so with this Kickstarter, we want to include the community into every step of the game's development. They will help us shape the game they want to play and tell us what works and what doesn't. The resulting game will be a joint effort between the studio and the backers of this project. More importantly, it will let us remain independent and free to take important decisions such as release date or creative direction. If you wish to support Timefront, back us on Kickstarter and wishlist the game on Steam. See you in the known world, Commander.
Hounded is a dog adventure game set in a flintlock fantasy world gripped by tyranny. You are Duke, a determined young border collie who is searching for their lost master, the leader of the rebellion. Hounded by a cunning hunter, can you track the scent, unearth the power of the tide, and find your way home? Say hello to the little Duke, or just Duke for short. Once a royal puppy, Duke isn't your usual protagonist. He is loyal, smart, extremely stubborn, and will do whatever it takes to protect the ones he loves. We have built our gameplay around key dog verbs, providing the most authentic dog experience. You will run, leap, and climb your way through the world, following scent trails that lead to points of interest, secrets, and narrative moments trapped in time, called imprints. Interacting with puzzling Teslapunk technology will unlock new areas to discover. And yes, you can mark your territory.
Hounded is set in the fictional island nation of Anglodia, inspired by 18th century Britain. We pose the question, what if the early discovery of electricity empowered a cruel regime to suppress and control the population, tarnishing the beautiful countryside with oppressive machinery? This is a story about intrigue, rebellion, and the bond between a dog and his master.
At Imprint, we have a huge passion for narrative games that resonate. Unforgettable worlds, memorable moments, and charming characters that stick with you forever. This, combined with our love for dogs, led us towards the development of Hounded and Duke.
We're a small but experienced team of developers and gamers. Our team has collectively worked on titles such as The Lego Hobbit, Killzone Shadowfall, Star Citizen, and The Dark Pictures, to name a few, and we're bringing all of that experience to Hounded.
We are only at the beginning of Duke's journey, and would love for you to be a part of it. Thank you for your support.
Every voyage begins with a plan. A vision etched on parchment, foretelling glory or downfall. It is in our nature to conquer what others fear. Death and dishonor, fame and fortune. The life of a sea captain is one of duty and relentless pursuit. True riches are not in gold and jewels, but in the stories we bring back and the legend we become. But never at our chart our next course. We sail. We fight. We endure. For the voyage is life. And life is the voyage.
Hello and welcome to Port Royal, Jamaica, the vibrant heart of the West Indies in the year 1780. I'm Tyler, lead developer at Capstan Games, and today we're thrilled to set sail with you on an extraordinary voyage to the 18th century age of sail, with our project, Ahoy. Ahoy is a first-person, multiplayer naval experience rooted in real history, built to capture the thrill, beauty, and brutality of the age of sail. This isn't fantasy, there's no monsters or magic, just the salt air, billowing canvas, and roaring cannon fire. It's a world that we believe deserves a place in modern gaming, one that's often overlooked, Hollywoodized, or simplified. In Ahoy, you'll dive into the world of fully immersive multi-crew gameplay, where cooperation is the key to victory. Every player begins their story as a naval officer, bound to the strict regulations of the Articles of War. While their path may deviate from that of the navies over time, this trial by salt and sea is the making of every captain's grasp on seamanship. Whether you're captaining your own ship or wish to become a vital part of a friend's crew, teamwork and organisation is essential to manage, sail, and engage in fierce naval combat aboard these stunning vessels of the past. You and your player officers will carve out your own path through the management of your NPC crew and the complexities of navigation. Ahoy is a skills-based experience where seamanship should be easy to learn, but hard to master. Our voyage today begins with a clear structure, what we call our staged development plan. We're not pitching a sprawling open world on day one. That's our long-term vision, and it's still on the horizon, but what we're building first is a solid foundation. Sea Trials will be our earliest playable release. It's a peaceful sailing experience focused entirely on the feel of the sea, working the sails, steering the ship, and learning to navigate. It's your introduction to the core mechanics of Ahoy, and it's where we'll shape the handling and interactive systems of our ships alongside our early backers. Following on from Sea Trials, we move into Arena, our first public release. Arena is a competitive PvP experience. 2 teams, multiple ships, intense naval combat. It's fast-paced and focused. Arena places you in one of many real-world locations. We often choose these battle maps based on key historical engagements within the Caribbean. Each map location will be a contained space, which can be used for any of Arena's current or planned game modes. At Arena's public release, we intend to feature many different ways to play. For now, there are 4 key modes we plan to include. Firstly, Sea Trials, a continuation of our original alpha release. Sea Trials will allow you to continue to peacefully sail together with friends within one of these contained maps. This is a great space for some role-playing, practice sailing, or community-arranged races. Next is Beat to Quarters. Pick your ships, set sail, and engage the enemy head-on. Work as a team to overwhelm the enemy and bring victory home for your nation. Next, Naumachia, named for the staged naval battles of ancient Rome and later revitalized in 18th century pleasure culture. This mode pitches ship against ship, every captain for themselves, the last ship left afloat takes the spoils. And finally, Dominion. Each map is divided into key objectives. Work as a team to capture, hold, and defend these objectives in order to maintain dominion over the sea and secure victory. Arena's broad range of possible game modes really opens the doors as development continues. While we only intend to launch with these 4 game modes, we can see great reasons to explore other forms of conflict in the future, both on land and at sea. As well as this, we plan to continue to add more ships to Ahoy, which will find their place in Arena first. Each new ship will bring a new strategy with more ways to engage the enemy. It's important to state that we've made a commitment to never sell ships to players. All ships added to Ahoy will be added as a free update. Arena will also feature a number of earnable and buyable cosmetics, We want there to be equally exciting cosmetic options no matter how you choose to get them. All cosmetics, whether earned or bought, can be further customized as part of your ship or uniform, allowing you the final say on colours, patterns, and other details. The 18th century was an immensely colourful period, especially when it comes to fashion and ship architecture, and we intend to fully represent the wide range of expressions shown during this time. We're hopeful that Arena will be an amazing place to explore naval combat like never before. Should Arena succeed as we hope it will continue to fund the future of Ahoy. That's where our vision for Ahoy really expands. Our ultimate vision of Ahoy is to build a persistent, multiplayer, open world. Imagine the entire Caribbean coastline fully explorable, player-driven economies, long-standing factions and naval conflicts, trade, smuggling, piracy, the true Age of Sail dream. The open world would become a living and immersive recreation of the West Indies. We envision a Caribbean where you can sail from end to end with a mixed PvP and PvE environment, where players smuggle, trade and wage war across national lines. You might recruit a crew from a tavern in Havana and set sail at dusk, chasing whispers of a French convoy headed for Port-au-Prince. You might run dangerous cargo as a merchant, raid enemy shipping lines as a privateer, or sit quietly with your friends playing chess as your ship drifts under the starlight. Every player would find their role within a constantly evolving world. We're extremely passionate about this open world vision, and it's what we really want to build. But it's clear to us that this is a vastly ambitious project, and it remains a broader vision of what we'd wish to build in the future. Everything we're building now, both with Sea Trials and Arena, lays the groundwork for that future. One of the things we're most proud of is our commitment, as far as it is possible, to historical accuracy. Every ship in Ahoy is reconstructed from real plans. Every uniform, weapon, and structure is built on reference and research. Our artists and researchers spend countless hours poring over archives, museum scans, and written records to bring the 18th century world back to life. As we hope is evidenced in our digital reconstruction of Port Royal, Jamaica, Ahoy aims to leave no stone unturned when it comes to researching, reconstructing, and visualizing the locations, material culture, and perhaps most importantly, the real lives of men, women, and children during this period. But our commitment to history doesn't stop at the visuals. The Age of Sail in the Caribbean was not just glory and gunpowder, it was also domination, colonization, and enslavement. The Caribbean of the 1780s was shaped by the transatlantic slave trade and the destruction of native lives and culture. We feel an enormous obligation to do this history justice, and we do not seek to shy away from its reality. While it of course goes without saying that these events will not form the basis of any gameplay features in Ahoy, players will not participate in these acts of brutality, we are actively engaging in academic debates on the subject. We are incorporating those consensuses on the subject and its proper representation in video games into Ahoy's vision. It is vitally important to us to ensure that our digital representation of this world acknowledges and reflects this difficult history with a careful sensitivity and duty of care. These stories of hardship and suffering deserve to be told, and we feel that video games are a form of storytelling that can educate and inform like no other. We feel compelled to make the commitment that we will not sanitize the past for the sake of marketability or simplicity, and we hope we can by extension expand the medium of video games as a source of education and impactful storytelling. Throughout development, we will continue to seek advice to guide us forward and find a respectful way to represent this reality, as well as to stick to our commitment of historical accuracy. So let's talk about the roadmap. Depending on the success of this Kickstarter campaign, we are targeting a closed launch of our alpha release, Sea Trials, in Q1 2026. Over the course of that year, we plan to continually update and expand Sea Trials into the full Arena release. Throughout this period, backers will gain access to key milestones, helping us test and refine every aspect of the game. We're targeting a release of Arena for Q4 2026 as a standalone experience through our own launcher and on both Steam and Epic Games stores. We don't currently have a release plan for the open world at all. It's a vision, we're working towards it, and we hope to have it in the future, but we must complete Sea Trials and Arena first, ship them to you, make sure they're great, and then we can look at the future. Of course, once Arena has released and continues to develop, or if this campaign really catches wind, we'll review the timeline for the open world and keep the Ahoy community regularly informed. Capstan Games is a small team scattered across the globe. We're a group of developers, artists, designers, researchers, musicians, and performers, all bound by a shared fascination with the sea and a passion for storytelling. What we've achieved so far has been built by volunteers and part-time freelancers, working late nights and early mornings because we love what we do. To take Ahoy to the next level, we simply need more hands on deck. With your support, we can bring additional experienced developers on board to accelerate our timelines and meet the standards of quality that we have set for ourselves. While we are looking to grow the team, we believe engaging, detailed and expansive experiences like Ahoy are more and more accessible to smaller teams. We want to remain homegrown with a dedication to detail and accuracy, however possible. Well, there we are. There is no doubt that Ahoy is ambitious, but with sensible milestones, careful budgeting, and the ability to expand our team, we're confident that together we can build something truly incredible. We invite you to explore our extensive FAQ to learn more about our vision for Ahoy. If you have any further questions, please leave them in the Kickstarter comments below, and we're eager to respond to as many of those as we can. We hope that you've enjoyed this introduction to the world of Ahoy, and we look forward to embarking together on this special voyage for all Age of Sail enthusiasts. To close, I'd like to leave you now with a performance by our friends El Pony Pisador. Thank you so much for your support. Fair winds and following seas.
Dale, ocell!
Help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alleyway. Hey, bully in the alley. Help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley. Bully down in Chimbona. Oh, Sally's a girl that I love dearly. Way, hey, bully in the alley. Sally's a girl that I splice nearly. Bully down in Chimbona. So, help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alleyway. Hey, bully in the alley. Help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley, bully down in Chimbona. I left me Sal and I went a sailing way, hey, bully in the alley. Took a ship to go a whaling, bully down in Chimbona. So, help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley, way, hey, bully in the alley. Help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley, bully down in Chimbona. I found myself out on the sea, away, hey, bully in the alley. Found myself with them so free, oh, bully down in Chimbona. So, help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley, way, hey, bully in the alley. Help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley, bully down in Chimbona. I bought some rum and I bought some gin, away, hey, bully in the alley. Till I spent all of me Dino, bully down in Chimbona. So, help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley, way, hey, bully in the alley. Help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley, bully down in Chimbona.